Hello, and this is the Warforge with a 1850 point battle report. This is Orks versus Dark Angels and the Astra-Militarum allies for the Dark Angels. This is our first 7th edition battle report, and we are using the old, well, by the time this is released, the Ork Codex may have came out, so the new Ork Codex may have came out. So this is the current /old Ork Codex that I'm using. In this force, the army list should be in the description section, so I'm just going to go over the tactics, basically what I'm going to try and do. By the way, I've structured my list. I just want to go all out aggression, just pile everything up, attack, mob up. Forwards is always the answer. I have units that will either be designed for close combat or have a lot of DACA. So, basically that, and it's just a straightforward rush 'em up. For just good old Ork tactics with the knobs, probably alpha striking as per usual. So with that, we go on to the battle report itself. Okay, so this is the deployment. The deployment was Dawn of War, and the mission was the Relic. There is the Relic. So, 1850 points, Orks versus Dark Angels as primary, with a Imperial-Guard allies section. This is our first 7th edition battle report. So, all the army lists will be in the description section. Here are the bikes. Here are the boys. Here is a battle wagon with the knobs and the Warboss. Here's another battle wagon with the 20 Ork boys with the knob and the power claw. Here is 30 Ork boys, all shooters with 3 big shooters. And here's another Ork boys squad, or choppers with the special knob. And here is the Mega Dread. So, without further ado, this new camera has a pause button, so I will pause it and go on to the Imperial Army.
Okay, so here's my first tactical squad with standard tactical operations. The other one, Predator Annihilator. We have a Devastator squad up in the building, along with a Scout Sniper squad. My third tactical squad, along with Dreadnought. Space Company Veteran squad with Librarian somewhere in there. And Luminous Exterminator, obviously.
Okay, so my opponent is going first, but I'm going to try and seize the initiative. And I fail. So it's now on to the Imperium's turn.
Okay, so my Luminous Exterminator fired at those boys. There's significantly less of them. My Dreadnought tried to and failed miserably. He was just out of range. This tactical squad ran into cover. And this Psyker cast Pyromancy Fire Shield, which is just there. Scout Sniper squad with Rocket Launcher also fired on those boys. Devastator squad tried to take out the truck thing, I can't remember the name, but failed miserably as well. Same with the Predator Annihilator. These tactical squads all ran into position, and the Scout squad moved up into cover.
Okay, so Ork turn 1, and we will go over what just happened. The Mega Dread moved from here, 6 inches from difficult terrain, fired at the Dreadnought, scattered 7 inches onto the Lehman Russ, and it could not penetrate because Strength 7 can't penetrate armor, or even glance armor 14. These Ork boys, because they're fearless, because of the mob rule, moved 6 inches, then ran 6 inches. These guys, big shooters, fired at the Devastator squad, received 2 hits but no wounds, so failed to wound twice. These guys were in the battle wagon. The battle wagon moved 6 inches, disembarked into dangerous terrain 5 inches, then ran for 5 inches again. So we're almost at the relic. The Warboss and the Knob unit will basically move 12, they went flat out for 6 inches here. The Ork unit here, difficult terrain for 6 inches, wasn't it? 6 inches, then ran 3 inches. Warbiker unit moved 12 into here, took 4 dangerous terrain checks, failed 1, then I failed an armour save, killing 1. Then those 3 Warbikers fired at them, caused an amount of hits. He saved all but 1, so 1 Marine died. That is the end of turn 1 and the end of Ork turn 1. Would you like to roll for reserves?
Yes,
it's 3+ now still, so how many reserves do you have? 2, so basically, which one are you rolling for first?
Biker.
Okay.
I didn't drop my dice.
Fair enough.
Landed next to your foot.
I'll pause this. Okay, so. Okay.
Reroll?
Yeah, reroll.
Success.
That's success. So which unit was coming in?
Biker.
Biker. And where's it? Okay, so roll for the other reserve.
My Assault Marines.
Also coming in.
Strike, that's okay.
Deep strike, yep. So with that in mind, it is now the Imperium and Dark Angels with Imperial-Guard, well, Astra-Militarum allies. Turn.
So again, this Lehman Russ fired on those Ork boys, which you managed to pass their leadership test. The Dreadnought tried to fire on the Walker and failed. My assault squad, tactical squad, moved through the buildings, attempted to assault, lost 1 due to Overwatch, killed a few due to their firing, but failed to move anywhere. My librarian, with his company veterans, moved through, assaulted, pushed through, and managed to consolidate forward. Scouts, again, fired on those. Devastators fired on the boys in the background. Predator Annihilator tried to fire at the vehicle again. Tactical squad moved through and fired at the enemy bikes. Same with the scout squad, and same with this tactical squad. And these guys deep struck, I suppose, in, losing 1 assault marine. And forgot again, bike moved up from reserves and moved 12 inches.
Okay, so Ork reserves. Both the Dakar jets, both the same loadout, so I just roll for them for the quickness at both the same time. 3+. We'll check to see if that's cocked. So 1's hit, so one Dakar jet is coming through. Turn 2. Orks. Okay, Ork turn 2, isn't it? Because the Dakar jet just came, yeah. So basically the Mega Dread moves 6 inches, fired into that unit, scattered onto this unit, killed 1. These guys moved behind the Mega Dread and then ran a few inches over here, basically using that as a metal shield. These guys fired into them and killed 1, wasn't it? Or yeah, killed a guy. These guys fired into them, they didn't do anything. They then assaulted into them and lost the combat by 3 or 4. Either way, they ran and are now falling back. This guy did pretty much nothing. These guys assaulted his veteran squad and librarian. The Warboss challenged a sergeant and killed a sergeant and a veteran squad member. The Knobs killed 2 more veteran squad members, but because the Honor Guard or the librarian is fearless, they don't have to take a morale check and are locked in combat. This guy stayed stationary, fired 2 big shooters into the Devastator squad and caused 3 wounds and killed 3. These guys fired into there, killed a guy, then charged in, rolled an 8, was successfully charged. The Nob with the Power Claw killed the sergeant in a challenge, and they were locked in combat with a draw on wounds. Scout squad are didn't. Well, it was Orc turn, so nothing really happened with them. The bikers fired into them. Can't remember if they killed anything, but they charged. The Nob killed the sergeant, and the rest of the unit killed the last remaining Orc biker, leaving the Nob on his own. The deck jet came on, 24 inches, zoom! 3 super shooters fired into them. I did not declare war, so it was only 9 shots, and managed to make 2 wounds and killed 2 onto the assault squad. So now it is the Imperium Dark Angel with Astra-Militarum allies. Turn 3.
So my Leman Russ fired at him and got a glancing hit. He fired but decided to miss horribly. These guys have fallen back somewhat. My Librarian got an instant death on his Warlord, but now he's the only one left as the company veterans are dead. Land Raider fired at him and missed. Tactical Marines have been killed off. Other Tactical Marines have been killed off. And Assault Marines fired.
For consolidation.
Yep.
Okay, so reserves, the second Dakar jet comes on. So Orc turn 3. Okay, so Orc, well, the turn 3, Orc turn 3, and the final turn, because we have to call it here since my opponent has a lift waiting. So what happened was this Dark Jet, well, fired at them, at the sniper squad, killed the majority, but they passed the leadership test. He moved, he was about to assault, but we've just called it the assault phase to see what happens. Boy squad fired at the veterans, they ran away. Battle wagon did nothing, they ran away quite a few inches. They and the Librarian assaulted, the Librarian made no wounds. However, the Nob squad did kill Librarian and then ran to be within base contact, well, generally within base contact of the objectives, concerning wobbly model syndrome, sorry. These guys, well, this remained stationary, fired its big shooters at the Devastator squad. It was down to the plasma cannon, killed the multi-melter. Plasma cannon failed its leadership test and is over there. Dakar Jet didn't really do anything. They didn't have a chance to do anything. These didn't really have a chance to do anything. However, the Warboss, not Warboss, the Nob with Power Claw on the biker has Line Breaker. So basically I have 3+1, so that's 4 victory points, unless the biker doesn't count as Line Breaker. So we'll have to check that up. And I have won by 1 or 2 victory points. The Orcs have remained victorious as my opponent got First Blood and Sail Warlord. However, I have the Relic, which is 3 victory points and possibly Line Breaker. So I'll let you know in the afterthoughts section. So my opponent, what do you think of Orcs?
Don't assault them unless you've got assault marines, pretty much.
Fair enough.
Never get any close.
Nah, I mean, I enjoyed it. It's nice because you don't fight Dark Angels every day, so it's nice for a change to see if the boys in green. So green versus green with a few Astra-Militarum allies. This was mine and my opponent's first 7th edition game. We both enjoyed it. What do you think of 7th edition?
Yeah, I like it. Some new features are quite nice. It's definitely an improvement.
Yeah. Personally, I like it. A lot of things have been cleaned up. A lot of things that I thought was a bit murky and very clunky have been cleared up brutally, and I feel as if Assault has slightly improved when you're in locked-in combat. Overwatch is still a pain in the backside, but can't really say much more. I'll go over my thoughts with the afterthoughts on after the victorious. So, Orcs of Clan Zor have remained victorious. Okay, so afterthoughts on the game. Well, I enjoyed the game. I'm going to talk about 7th edition, then what I liked and disliked about the battle. So, 7th edition. First game was the Relic, and I personally enjoy the Relic, but I know there's a lot of gripe over the internet with the Relic, and that's mainly because a lot of people decide to abuse certain units and certain factions, which give them a tactical advantage over other armies and factions in the mission specifically for the Relic, which I can completely understand from that point of view. But to me, when you have a group of like-minded people, or if you don't try and abuse certain units or spam certain units, the game becomes much more tactical and much more themed, if I'm being specific. Mainly because, as you saw in the battle there, I felt like there was a swirling melee going on in the middle. The Orks were going all out, but the Dark Angels were pushing them back, and then right from the flank, a Nob squad came in through the entrance and just decided to challenge and attack that veteran squad, providing a big, meaty fight in the middle of the board, which decided the victor of the match kind of thing. So I enjoyed that from a thematic perspective, but at the same time, I can also understand why people could gripe over the Relic. Personally, what I think did well were the Nob squad, because Nobs with the Warboss hacking apart the Vanguard squad was quite fun to participate in. I enjoyed the Mega Dread, because the Mega Dread is Mega Dread, so what more can you say apart from big giant clanking walker that fires its boomstick everywhere? And yes, that was an Evil Dead reference. Hee hee. So, what I think didn't perform well were the Warbikers, but I think that was due to my tactical error. I think I should have went around the terrain piece rather than going straight through the terrain piece, because I wouldn't have taken dangerous terrain tests, and I already had a cover save, so I didn't really need another cover save, which I reminded myself late game. So it was a tactical error on my part, so I'm still willing to give them another chance. What did I enjoy about the battle? Well, it felt like I was in the 40k universe. I felt like I was participating in the 41st millennium. Everything seemed more grab and more gritty, because everything was more up to the throat without deciding a victor. It was very down to the wire. That's what I'm trying to express. Everything was very down to the wire to the last turn, because I was feeling the threat when the Dark Angels were pushing forward onto the objective, just firing away at the Shooter Boy squad. So I think everything felt down to the wire, and I enjoyed that battle because of that. So apart from that, I enjoyed the game, I enjoyed the battle. I hope my opponent enjoyed the game and joined the battle. This is the Warforge saying signing out. Don't forget to subscribe if you like what you saw, and also give this video a like if you enjoyed watching this video, and have a look at the other stuff that I've posted, because you might enjoy them too. This is the Warforge signing out, and remember, keep on forging.